So let's say you're ready to get your laser image all set up. So let's say you're working in Illustrator and you're like, how do I format this for the laser printer? I'm going to show you right now. This actually is a JPEG of Eleni's, but I'm going to show you. The first thing you need to do is once you have everything the way you want it, you need to make a JPEG of it. How do you do that? Well, let's say you're working in Illustrator. You go to File, Export, File, Export, and you want to make sure that this says JPEG. You want to make sure you say Use Artboards. When you hit Export, and this is extremely important, make sure that it's always RGB for what we do, and that your resolution is high. That's so 300 ppi. Okay, and then you're going to say OK. Next thing you're going to do is once you export this image, so let's say I've exported it, you're going to reopen the JPEG in Illustrator. So to do that, I'm holding down the Control key on my keyboard, and I click on the image, and I say Open with Illustrator. And there it is. Okay. So what do I do now? Check it out. Make sure you have this selected. So grab the black arrow, grab the image, go to Window, Image Trace. Bring this up, click on the Advanced key, and click Ignore White, and hit Trace. All right. What's this going to do is it's going to convert it into a vector-based object. It takes a little bit of time to do that. Not forever, but you can see it's like probably about 10 whole seconds to get this done. And you're not quite done yet. Watch this. I'm going to take the image, click on it, go to Object, Expand, and say OK. And now it is editable vector points. That's very important. All right. From this image, eventually you're going to be turning in two images. You're going to turn in a color version, and you can use this to do that. And also you're going to turn in a laser version. So to get started with this, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say save a copy, and I'm going to call it, this is Eleni, so I'm going to call it Eleni, and then underscore, and I'm going to call this copy image color, okay? And I'm going to hit save. Oops, and I think I saved it as JPEG, something weird. I called it something weird. And then the other one I'm going to save as Eleni. I don't want this JPEG thing here, so that should just have an Illustrator at the end of it. In fact, what the heck, I'll just erase everything. Eleni, laser. Okay, there we are. And I'm going to hit save. Okay. So make sure you're working on that. So I'm working currently on the laser version, so I'll show you how to format that right now. That's easy. Select your image, go to fill and say no fill, and then you're going to go up to stroke and say I want to stroke of 0.25 and it's black. Almost done. A couple other things you need to do. There's usually an outermost border right here. I'm going to take that outermost border and I'm going to delete it. And then what I have to do, because the laser cutter is kind of stupid, is I have to tell it that this is not the edge of the paper, this is the edge of the paper, but there's no vector there anymore, so I'm going to make an artificial vector, but I don't want it to cut. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the edge of my artboard, whatever size that is, I'm going to create that, and I'm going to change this color to red. So this should read R255 green 0 B0 B0. So that's that, and it's also a stroke of 0.25. This is now, let me save this, ready to be, I'm not going to show you how to do this, but hopefully you know how, but this is ready to now be exported to whatever folder I've directed you to put it in the graphic design folder. So for example, in Eleni's case, she's in my graphic design block C class, so there's a work to turn in folder. And oh, look at this. Here it is. Where is it? Quote project. There it is. Okay. So, so she has, as you can see, her black and white JPEG image that she's already created. So that's just the JPEG. And so I haven't talked about that, but you're going to save a JPEG of your black and white image. You're also going to, just to go on a little bit further, you're going to save the color version. I'll show you how to do that right now. And you're going to save the laser version.